Did Donald Trump, as president, have the right to unilaterally declassify documents just based on his say-so? That's one of the conversations we've been having ever since the FBI raid on Donald Trump's home in Florida last week took place. And we know that the American right wing, they've been throwing everything at the wall to see what sticks as it pertains to the FBI raid in Mar-a-Lago, saying everything from this is a witch hunt to the FBI planted documents on Donald Trump. But one of the more pernicious claims made in right-wing media circles lately has been that even if Donald Trump did have classified documents in his possession in his basement in Mar-a-Lago, that's A-okay because presidents, at the end of the day, are the ultimate authority as to what is classified information and what gets declassified, so it doesn't matter. It's kind of a get-out-of-jail-free card. If the president does it, it's not illegal, as Richard Nixon once said. Here's one such example of this claim being made by Kash Patel, who is a former Trump administration official who now works over at Truth Social, also known as Truth Central. He made the claim to Fox News' Maria Bartiromo over the weekend on her Sunday show. Let's take a look at that.
In October of 2020, he issued a sweeping declassification order for every Russiagate document and every single Hillary Clinton document. Then on the way out of the White House, he issued further declassification orders, declassifying whole sets of documents. And this is a key fact that most Americans are missing. President Trump, as the sitting president, is a unilateral authority for declassification. He can literally stand over a set of documents and say, these are now declassified. And that is done with definitive action immediately.
So Kash Patel here in this video makes it sound like there's almost a magic spell involved, like Donald Trump can just wave his hand over the documents in question and then poof, they are no longer classified information, so nothing to be seen here, nothing to be investigated. Well, you may be shocked to learn that this is not actually how the process works. Presidents do have the ability to declassify certain types of information, but there's a procedure attached to it. Certain executive branch officials have the authority to deem information as confidential, secret, or top secret, and if it's ultra top secret, then the document will get the SCI designation. Some of the documents in Donald Trump's possession had this very distinction. There are also rules limiting how the documents can be stored, physically transported, or electronically transmitted. When someone with the proper authority moves to declassify the documents, the executive branch has a process to involve the other agencies that might be affected. And certainly the president is one of the people who can move to make something declassified. It's rarely done, but it can happen. However, they need to undergo this very same process, and it's not as easy as waving a magic wand as Kash Patel would have you believe. Here's former CIA director and former Defense Secretary Leon Panetta, who would know a thing or two about this very topic, being even more frank than I have been about the process for how to declassify documents.
So you're obviously very well versed in dealing with classified material. Former Trump aides are now trying to claim that there was a standing order by the president, Donald Trump, to declassify any document that left the West Wing for Trump's resident. Is that how declassification works, even with some of the nation's most guarded secrets?
That's nonsense, and he knows it. The reality is that there is a process for declassifying information. And if presidents want to declassify, they have to follow that process, which basically requires that it be referred to the agencies that are responsible for classifying that material. They have something to say as to whether or not that material should be declassified. So there is nothing that I'm aware of that indicates that a formal step was taken by this president to, in fact, declassify anything. Right now, this is pretty much BS.
It's all a bunch of BS, says Leon Panetta. And then there's an added layer of security when you're talking about nuclear documents, which Donald Trump is accused of having in his possession, as documents about nuclear material are subject to the Atomic Energy Act, which the president does not have unilateral authority over. Now, secondary to this entire discussion is that even if the documents weren't classified, or even if they were deemed declassified by Donald Trump right before he left office with his magic wand, it wouldn't serve to get the former president out of hot water, because none of the things that Donald Trump is being investigated for require the documents be classified. The Espionage Act violations, concealing documents, and obstruction of justice are the three things that the FBI is looking into as it pertains to Donald Trump. Those are not dependent on whether the information that Trump had in his possession were classified. He's not supposed to be taking, hiding, or destroying any of the presidential records, regardless of their classification status. And the government asked him to return the items. He didn't willingly hand them over. He didn't give back all of the documents anyway. And so it doesn't matter whether or not they were classified. Final point on this, because the right has been talking nonstop about Hillary Clinton and her emails over the past couple of weeks. They used to say that Hillary Clinton, she could not be trusted to handle secret information, therefore she could not be president, because when she was Secretary of State, she had secret documents in her Gmail account that was being operated through a private server, and it was grossly negligent, and we just can't trust her with these top secret documents. Well, if that was ever your concern, but you also now have this position that the president can just declassify whatever they want on a whim, doesn't this render the point that they were making about Hillary in 2016 completely moot? Like, why would it matter that Hillary Clinton supposedly wasn't able to be trusted with classified information if she would have the power as president to just declassify whatever she wants anyway? But the contradictions, we know when it comes to the right wing, they don't matter. It's all about twisting and turning yourself. Anything that you can do to defend Donald Trump, no matter how ridiculous it makes you look.